Sealed games. What is the point? So I currently have 10 sealed games in my video game collection, and I'm at a dilemma of I don't know if I should sell them, if I should keep them, if I should get some of them graded. I don't know what I should do here. Today, I wanted to talk about sealed video games. So first of all, I feel like the question that should be asked is, why do people collect sealed video games? Because why do we buy video games in the first place? To play them. And how are you going to play a game that's sealed? Whenever a new game comes out, it comes sealed, then we immediately rip it open because we want to play it, right? I have some games here that are 20 years or older that are sealed, which is kind of crazy. So that's exciting, and that so happens to be the most valuable sealed game I have, so that kind of explains it all. But I have some newer games that are pretty valuable that are sealed, but they're also limited edition. Well, whatever. You'll see here in just a second. So why do people collect sealed games when you can't even play them? I'd say the short answer to that is it's an investment. When there's a very good game in a game series that comes out, let's use The Legend of Zelda, for example. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Wii U, if you get it graded, it's worth around $200. And the Wii U just stopped making games only a couple years ago. Would it be a smart investment to buy The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild for the Switch and just put them in storage for the next 15 years? That may not be a bad idea. Buy as many copies as you can. That's probably the reason, honestly, that I have bought all of these sealed games. Because now that I somewhat know the market, I'm like, sealed game, that's cool. Let me grab it. You know what I mean? You're at Walmart, you're at Target, you're at a garage sale, which is crazy. It happens. There's a game for a good deal, you pick it up. This mainly happens at Walmart and Target. If there's like a PlayStation 4 game that's under $10 that I can pick up and it's still sealed, I grab it. You know, it's cool to me. But the main games you probably want to look out for when it comes to sealed games, games that are from a successful franchise. Or look out for games that may have a very limited release that could flop in the future, but having a sealed copy of that game, because they only made 500,000 copies versus where these main AAA titles are getting several millions of copies made every year, so they become less valuable. Just like the card industry, just like the sneaker industry, and the video game industry, the less that are made become more valuable. And that's very much so true when the less that are made, and it's a good game, they become very valuable. The Silent Hill series is a great example of that. And speaking of that, quick plug, I am working on fulfilling and buying every single Silent Hill game ever made that released on console. I'm leaving out PC and American release only. I'm not buying Japanese or European releases because I'm American. Sue me. I'm buying every single American release Silent Hill game and box variants. So if the game had a greatest hits and a black label for the PlayStation 2, for example, I'm buying them both. If it came out on 3 different consoles, I'm buying all 3, even if it's the same game. So if you want to see the full entire Silent Hill collection and you want to see how much money I spent on that, then stay tuned for a future video, and please hit that subscribe button right now. Hopefully you're enjoying this video as well. And let's continue on with the sealed games rant. So this is the best example I can give. Ratchet & Clank for the PlayStation 1 was a groundbreaking game. They now have like over 15 games in the series, and the most recent one coming out on the PlayStation 5, it was the main reason, it was the sole reason I bought a PlayStation 5 at first. Let's take Ratchet & Clank 1 for example. That game was so successful. It was a lot of people's probably top 5 games that came out on the PS2, just like Ratchet & Clank and Sly Cooper. It was one of those games that was just great for all ages, such a fun game. They made millions on millions of copies of that game. So that game, if you have it right now, complete in box, it's only like worth $13. But where that game was so popular, if you have that game sealed, it's worth $160. And to take it a step further, if you have that game graded, it's worth $500. So because that was such a great game, everybody that bought that game opened it and played it. So if you can find that game sealed anywhere, if you can pick it up for under $100, even if you can pick it up for under $120, that would be a great deal, because that game sealed is price charted at $160. That's just a small example. You might be getting tired of me ranting about all these sealed games and whatnot, and I showed you that stack at the beginning. So let's just go ahead and dive right into that stack, and let's value my sealed game collection. So coming in first for the Nintendo Wii, this is the cheapest sealed game that I have. I got this at a garage sale for $1. It was $1 at a garage sale. Twilight Seen It for the Wii, and it is price charted at $7.60 sealed. So considering I bought it for $1, I'm gonna chalk that up as a win in my book. Coming in second, we have Fallout 4 for the PlayStation 4. Of course, all of these games are sealed. I bought this at Target, I believe, for $6.99. It was on clearance. And first of all, Fallout is one of my favorite game series. I love the Fallout games. Fallout New Vegas, probably my favorite. I actually platinumed Fallout 76. Love the Fallout games. Fallout 4, just to have this game sealed. Granted, they made so many copies of this. I had to pick it up. Its price charted sealed value is at $9.99. So, just had to pick it up. Coming up next is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition on the PS4. As you know, it's sealed. I also got this game at Target the same day I bought Fallout 4 for $6.99, and this game is price charted at $13.14. So that was actually a good pickup. I'm more or less doubling my profit there if I were to sell. Granted, I'd probably want to sell to someone in person because after shipping fees, I'm probably coming out close to even, maybe like $2 profit. But this was just a good pickup. Coming in next, we have The Evil Within for the Xbox One. As you can see, it has a slipcover on it, but the actual game is still sealed. Factory sealed. This was a great pickup because I bought this in like a 76 game lot at a garage sale, and I'm already in the 200 plus profit range on all of those games I've bought. I've sold most of them. This one is sealed, so I think I'm gonna hold on to it. And when I'm in the profit, then I got this game for free, and it is price charted sealed value at $17.77. The Evil Within for the Xbox One. Next, we got another PS4 title. It's It Takes Two. This is a phenomenal co-op game, really cool game. I picked this up also at Target for $9.99. Its sealed value price charted is $21.35. That was a phenomenal pickup. Once again, doubling my profit here, and there would actually be an okay amount of profit made if I were to sell this online, but I don't know. You see that I have a couple sealed games here, so I kind of want to keep that going. Next, we got another PS4 title. We have Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. The first one, the game that started it all. I'm gonna hold on to this one sealed for a long time. This is a phenomenal game. Spider-Man Miles Morales is a phenomenal game. And of course, I've been running Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. It's a phenomenal game. And with how successful that game series has been, having this sealed, I'm really glad to have this. I picked this up sealed at a garage sale for $3. I have another copy of this game, not sealed, because I played it, and man, I'm just really excited to have this. And if you can see on the back, it doesn't have a barcode. Hopefully it's in focus. It says not for resale. With that being said, I think that this copy might have actually been a copy that came with the Spider-Man Special Edition PS4 Pro. Otherwise, I don't know why it would say not for resale. I don't know if there was some PlayStation bundle that came out that wasn't the special edition console that had this game with it. That could be the case too. But usually when you buy a game individually, it has a barcode right there instead of not for resale. This is a super cool one that I have in my collection. Super glad to have it. It's made by Insomniac. Those are the same people that made all the Ratchet & Clank games, and they have absolutely killed it with this new Spider-Man series. And this game, price charted sealed, goes for $21.49. All right, next, we're going back a generation, but still in the PlayStation console. As you guessed it, we have a PS3 game, and this is the Silent Hill HD collection for the PS3. I actually bought this game online, and I paid more than what it's worth, but where I'm buying every single Silent Hill game, where this game was sealed, I paid a little bit more than I should because the sealed value on price charting is only $22.95, and I think I paid $35 for this game after shipping. It's just still really cool to have this game sealed. Man, the Silent Hill game series is absolutely crazy. It's a horror game series, in case you didn't know. It's terrifying. It's also one of the best survival horror games of all time. The series is amazing. This and Resident Evil, I mean, they just set the bar for horror games from here on out. And having this sealed, super cool. And I probably will be letting this go whenever I finally sell and build the Ultimate Silent Hill collection and sell that to someone that really wants it. We're switching consoles again, switching brands. We got a Nintendo game. It's a Nintendo Switch case. We got Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. For some reason, man, the Nintendo Switch games, Nintendo period, I mean, aside from like Twilight, we're not gonna count the Twilight. It was a Wii game, but we're not gonna count Twilight seeing it. But Mario, Zelda, Kirby, Donkey Kong, all of those big Nintendo titles, if you have a sealed game, regardless of the console, it holds its value so well. And this game you can still buy on shelves at Target right now. And the sealed value is $39.98 on price charting. Like I said, Nintendo games, they just go crazy when it comes to sealed value. I got this on a sale at Target because they had a deal where you could buy, if you bought one Mario game, you got the second one 50% off. So I bought this and Mario Kart for the Nintendo Switch. I got one of these half off. I think I ended up only spending like $90 on really what in store was like $120. And I busted open Mario. You gotta have Mario Kart. I mean, it's an essential. All right, I'm not to show you this. This one's kind of a heavy hitter. As you can see, it is for the PlayStation 4. What is special about this game is this is a limited run game. But this is a limited run game that originally came out on the PlayStation 2, and it's easily one of my favorite games of all time, and it is Jak 3 for the PlayStation 4. Where this is a limited run game, if you're familiar with this brand, Limited Run, they make a specific amount of copies of games that are not actually a game. Like they'll do indie games and make a physical copy of them, or they'll take an old game and make a newer physical copy of them. So this is Jak 3 on the PlayStation 4. I paid $80 for this at Southeast Game Exchange. Please go check out that video because that's one of my favorite videos that I've ever made. Bought this while I was there. Paid $80 for it. Sealed value is actually only $69, $67. But man, this was just one of the big games of my childhood. I had to have it. Nostalgia got me there and I had to have it. So man, I'm super stoked to have this in my collection, Jak 3 for the PS4. And last, but certainly not least, the most expensive sealed game in my collection is a PlayStation 2 game, and it is Resident Evil Outbreak for the PlayStation 2. This game is factory sealed, obviously, but as you can see on the back, it's not a barcode, it says part of a set. This is part of the Resident Evil Essentials pack that came out on the PlayStation 2 that contained this game, Resident Evil 4, and Resident Evil Code Veronica X. If you buy that Essentials pack, it's roughly worth around $50 if the games are all opened. I bought the Resident Evil Essentials pack also at Southeast Game Exchange, and I paid $53 for it. When I opened up the inside of the Essentials pack, there were 2 copies of Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, which is a more rare copy. That game is price charted, complete in box, not even sealed, at $45. And I got 2 copies of those. That's $90 right there when I only paid $53 for all 3 games. And then the third game that was in there was Resident Evil Outbreak sealed. And this game, price charted sealed, is $73.37. So I got a total value of $165 on something I paid $53 for. That's absolutely insane. So if you're a video game seller, make sure you're checking your boxes before you sell games, because I got an absolute steal on this. Man, hey, I got a win here. It was a big win for me, and I'm not complaining. But this game is something that actually might worth being graded. I definitely have considered grading this just because this is absolutely crazy. This game is 20 years old. Resident Evil is one of the best survival horror game series of all time, if not the best one. So man, absolutely phenomenal. I love this. I am so careful when I'm holding this. It has no tears. None of these games have tears. This is sick, and I love to have this in my collection. So for the 10 sealed games that I have price charted, total value of all of these is $394.33. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with them. I have a decent number that I'm going to hold on to. There's certain ones I really could care less about, like especially like the Twilight Scenic for the Wii. I could care less. Some of the PS4 games, like Mass Effect, I've never played a single Mass Effect game. It was just a cool pickup because it was sealed. And I'm still probably gonna keep buying sealed games just because the values keep going up. And once we finally get to the point that the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, once they stop making games for those consoles, the price of these are only going to go up. So I have high hopes for what they do in the future. I'm going to put them away in a safe, whatever I do with them. I'm just going to put them to the side, hold on to them. So to answer the final question, why collect sealed games? It's because they're an investment. You obviously can't play the game. If you want it to hold its value, you have to keep it sealed. So that's why we buy sealed games. If you enjoyed this video and you're excited for my Silent Hill collection, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next video.